afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. And it's time to talk about some Loki, Season 2, Episode 2, Breaking Bad. I'm here with D. Jose and Cheeto as we talk about this interesting episode. An episode I felt like it just came out a bit left field for me because Brad is playing a guy called X5, I believe, and he seemed to be part of the TVA. And next thing you know, he's already on the run, and I felt like I missed something. I missed something regarding that. I mean, maybe you guys can explain to me.
Yeah, did they?
That was the guy from episode 1 who was asking about the jet ski, wasn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, the Timothy Oliphant lookalike.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean, yeah, but we were swollen. Timothy Oliphant with a swollen nose. That's how I looked at him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but regardless, it was an episode where we jumped to different parts of the timeline, mainly late 70s, early 80s. We got to see this character Brad got fleshed out a lot more. Some interesting moments between him and Loki and Morbius. Mm-hmm. More Ouroboros as well, which is fast becoming a fan favorite of that character, as well as Sylvie trying to live a simple life. Too, Jose, what did you think of this episode?
I thought it was actually a fantastic episode. We finally got to see a little bit of action now because I'm like, okay, the first episode, you kind of had to do a little bit of a slow burn. This episode, we learned more about X5, and he's just an asshole. I love that he played that role. I love, Owen Wilson is coming into his own as Morbius. Getting to see the return of Loki as the god of mischief, up to his old tricks was amazing. This was a really good episode. I really liked it.
I agree. Oh, go ahead.
I agree. Go on, Cheetah.
I thought this episode was a little bit literally low key. There wasn't as much on, I felt like there wasn't as much on the line in this episode, although I know like the overarching narrative right now is the time stream is collapsing and blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But I just felt like there wasn't a sense of urgency like there was in the last episode to fix things. There was urgency at the end of the episode with all the what is it, the bomb, whatever the bombs are.
The branching with the timeline and like they got to bomb billions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that kind of raised the stakes a little bit in that aspect. But like, dude, that first episode was just like boom, 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 boom. Like they were moving place which I thought it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. This episode, it did slow down a little bit. We're focusing, like more on one character, X5, and like X5, Loki, and Mobius. We really didn't see too much of Ouroboros and what's the lady's name? The lady hunter. I can't remember her name.
I can't remember her name either. Yeah.
And also Sylvie basically joining the crew again. So I don't know. It I wouldn't say it's as good as last week's episode, but still not a bad episode at all.
Yeah. I think the one thing we can all agree on is that definitely Marvel feels like with this show, it's returned to form. Like, because Marvel's been kind of falling off for a little bit, but they're getting it back.
Well, but one show can that's like Star Wars with Andor. I mean, Andor was fantastic, and we thought, Star Wars is doing great, and then Ahsoka was good, but it wasn't anything spectacular in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's kind of the same thing here. I think Loki's going to be like this high bar that's being set, and then we're going to go into whatever is next, which is actually it's exactly the same.
Yeah,
because you go from Obi-Wan, which was kind of like Secret Invasion, now into like Loki, which is like Andor, and now whatever's next for Marvel will probably be like Ahsoka. It'll be good, but not whatever.
It's going to go up and down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want to get to? I can't bring up.
Yeah. Okay. Before I get to my opinion, let's go to some comments. Am I in the right universe? Cousin Mito and Blam. Oops, wrong universe. I like his play on words. Afternoon, everyone. Dan Variant's running around screwing up the sacred stream. You're telling me?
Yeah.
I killed Kang and turned it into the TVA. All is safe.
The TVA.
As the branches were pruned, the sacred timeline shifted slightly, which I found interesting. I mean, all those deaths that occurred. I mean, they were not necessarily killed. They were taken out of existence.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, but here's the thing, though. See, this is because when you prune something, like it goes to that like negative world or whatever you want to call it, like that void world, you know, like that Loki.
That world's going to get packed. And it's gonna, like,
That's
be
what
a
I'm
big
saying.
fucking planet to
So I don't know exactly how that's going to work. You know, like,
and you have your doppelgangers everywhere as well. Like,
that's a whole episode in and of itself.
And the running gag I'm going to make until I know we see it happen is Doctor Strange right now somewhere has a big migraine going, which one of you messed up the timeline? Because I guarantee that that's what's going to happen. Like, something's going to happen on Earth, and he's going to be all like, what the hell is going on here?
He should have been more involved in this than they're letting on. And now he hasn't got the time stone anymore. I don't even know what he can do.
Oh, he can do tons. I mean, the time stone was like the ultimate relic, but you know, that he could use. But still, I mean, he's got tons of magic, and the eye of not the eye of Agamotto, but there's other like eyes, and I mean, he even got his third eye at the end of the Doctor Strange 2, which is supposed to be him being he can like pierce into other dimensions with that.
Yep. But I'm going to say it every single week that we review a Loki episode. I'm going to be like, Doctor Strange somewhere right now is having a migraine. Because I guarantee that he will.
Agreed.
As the branches were pruned, the sacred timeline shifted, which I found interesting.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for all the Kang stuff?
I mean, I don't know, the thing with time travel is mind-boggling at times. I mean, it could be like there's various ways of looking at it. Like an example is like the Flashpoint way of looking at it. Like, yeah, you have changed time, but things kind of still reset itself to a degree, and they play out how it should. Like, there should be a Batman, there should be a Joker, and all of these things, regardless who plays those people, they're still going to be there. Or it could be things are totally different. Or, in my opinion, things don't change at all. It's all in a time loop.
And I think we all got
it's a paradox.
And I think we all got a similar question. How is this going to affect the modern universe, like Earth? Like, how will this affect the Earth? That's what I'm wondering. Like, present day.
I don't think any of this is going to start affecting like the main MCU timeline until we start seeing incursions.
Oh yeah.
Well, no. But at the same time, we learned in Endgame that you don't change time, you just create a new branch, which is what we see in the TVA. So in a way, you're not changing the current timeline. People, you can go back in time, do some changes, then go back forward and go back to your original timeline, and your original timeline will still be the same, but you've created a new branch in the past, whereas an alternative future or present and all of that is occurring. So it's all head fuck regardless.
Yeah, it's all like a mind fuck, and then it's like somehow you find some way of this to make sense.
Some way.
Like exactly. Way. Yeah.
So in this one we have our guy Brad. And by the way, I recognize some of the streets. He was on Bow Street in central London, where some of our theaters are. It looked cool. I really do feel that Loki is filmed in England.
I think it is.
I genuinely do, because that does not look like fucking Oklahoma when it came to McDonald's. That looks like fucking England.
Yeah, now we don't have to say redacted anymore. They actually showed the name of the restaurant. So McDonald's does exist. Hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I mean, it's easy for them to get a few American cars. We do have them in this country, American cars. Like people import them and stuff like that. It's not impossible to get. But going back to the 1977 plot line, we have that chase, and it was good to see Loki using his powers, because there's times when I'm thinking to myself, mate, you got the ability to put yourself everywhere and make multiple versions of yourself and mimic other people. You can pretend to be somebody else.
But
you're a shapeshifter. Yeah,
a lot. I think didn't a lot of last week's episode take place in the TVA, and doesn't magic not work in the TVA?
Yeah, the Infinity Stones don't work in the TVA. Magic doesn't work in the TVA.
I'm trying to remember if Loki used really magic in the TVA. Like I really don't honestly 100% remember. I'm sure Daniel Vance does.
I know he time shifted, but I don't think he did anything else.
Yeah, time shifter was not on that wasn't part of his
It's not part of what he
tool
does.
set.
Yeah.
So he was being affected by something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. But it was good to see him, and I think prior to that he had some sort of restraint put on him, which made him not able to do some of his magical shit. But they've let him loose now.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a collar on.
Hello, Mr. System.
And I've also got a question. So, okay,
going back
to the end of I forgot which one it was. I think it was Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Where was Victor time? The Kang variant, because I thought we were going to see him, because weren't they dressed up in the post-credit scene for something?
Loki, no, I think that was the end of
him and Charlize Theron.
Okay, Ant-Man and Quantumania. Yeah, because I'm like, weren't we supposed to see Victor timeline yet?
No, we will. We will this season. That's a direct. That is a direct scene from when they were filming Loki.
Okay, so it just hasn't happened yet.
It just hasn't happened in the season yet. But yeah, they're going to track down Victor. I think it's actually going to be closer towards the end of the season when that happens.
I do too. Yeah.
I said in the past that they've missed a trick regarding Kang, because they should have had elements of Kang show up in various
movies and stuff.
Movies in some capacity or another.
Dude, like, in Moon Knight, you could have had a perfect Kang Easter egg. Even him.
Kang in Moon Knight. Kang in Moon Knight. Kang in WandaVision. Kang in Doctor Strange. He needed to be in those movies. I don't know what else Kang could have been in.
Deadpool 3, I could see it. Deadpool 3, I could see it being like, what the fuck are Deadpool 3, I could see it being like, what the fuck are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here.
Actually, Kang could have been in Spider-Man 3, sorry. Homecoming. There are ways you could put him in there as well.
I think it would have been better as a post-credit scene or something like that. But I mean,
but in whatever capacity, you could put him in. I think for sure.
I agree with you. I think Kang, because look, so the reason why Thanos was not everywhere in the Infinity Saga is because he's one person.
Yeah.
But we are talking about hundreds upon hundreds, probably thousands of Kang variants.
Yeah,
billions.
Like, why are these guys? You're right, Zam. Like, why are these guys not showing up even in a small capacity? They really need to be showing up after He Who Remains was killed.
Because here's the deal. Like, people think Thanos was the worst. I'm like, no, you got no idea. Kang is going to come in and fuck shit up, and he should have been doing that this entire time. The moment that they killed him, we should have started seeing variants, even if it was just for 30 seconds, pop up in everything in the MCU going forward, just to say, hey, yo, he's coming. We might have got a little sick of that, but you driven the point home of, yo, Kang is here and he's gonna fuck shit up.
Go ahead.
He doesn't have to necessarily do anything. We could just see him playing the role of a person that people wouldn't even take a second glance of. He could be a school teacher, he could be a bus driver, he could be doing the fucking Jonathan Majors could be doing almost like a evil version of Stan Lee cameos during these phases.
Yeah.
What I mean? Knowing that this is Kang here, Kang there, Kang fucking everywhere.
But I can see fans getting sick of that, but honest and truly, it would make sense.
Yeah, because
it would make sense.
Because you have to drive the point home that, hey, the next Avengers movie, Kang is coming and he's going to do some shit. So we got to get it going. Like, he's
going to win, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, King Dynasty, they're going to pull an Infinity War and Endgame where Kang Dynasty, I still am convinced that Kang Dynasty is going to be a Young Avengers where Kang wins. Like, he kills all the Avengers. He kills all the Avengers and everything like that, and he wins. And then you have the Young Avengers also in that movie.
What about the West Coast Avengers? Is that going to be a thing? Have they confirmed that yet? No,
it's not. Not that I know of. I mean, I haven't heard any rumblings of that. But
okay,
the Young Avengers is definitely happening. That's what I think, because Kang and the Young Avengers have had multiple
beefs,
in comic books. So I think that's what Kang. And since they're building Young Avengers, they haven't announced the Young Avengers movie. I think that's what they're going to do. Is Kang Dynasty is going to be the backdoor Young Avengers movie, and then Secret Wars is where you have that Beyonder version of Kang. Like the probably is going to be He Who Remains. Like he's probably going to be back at the end.
Like,
in Secret
hey,
War.
yeah, here I am.
Yo.
Hello.
Macklemore Farmer, how you doing? Hope you've seen the episode of season 2, episode 2
Okay.
of
Ooh. Daniel
Loki.
Vance. That is interesting because I'm reading the chat on the stream. Wow.
Well, look, Kang has been the main. You know, look. Honestly, I don't think they're going to be going down some of these particular comic book story arcs. I mean, they've already merged He Who Remains with Kang. They've merged characters and stuff like that. And so I just don't see that particular merger happening as well.
Macklemore,
yeah,
Macklemore, if you don't care about spoilers, if you do care about spoilers, you need to click the video off because we're going over the episode.
Now, one thing in this episode I saw that immediately got me on Google is key lime pie. Because when I saw it, for a start, what made me laugh was that he wanted a pie. He wanted key lime pie. He goes into that canteen area. All the fucking windows there are pies.
All key lime pie.
And it's all key lime pie.
Is it all key lime or is it just pies? I just saw all the signs said pies.
No, it says pies, but if you look carefully enough, they're all like green. They're all green. Yeah, they're all key lime pies. Yeah, and
that's insane.
It's funny in a way. If time doesn't exist in
how the fuck can they eat
in the TV? No, but does that mean food will never go stale?
I doubt it.
So that key lime pie will be as fresh as it was when it first was made, 1,000 years later.
Yep.
But regardless, I want a fucking key lime pie that looks like that. You know what I mean? I really want that. The guy called Babish on YouTube who likes to copy foods that you see on TV and films and cartoons.
He'll do that.
I sent him a tweet. I go, I want the key lime pie like from fucking season 2, episode 2 of Loki. Ben Dover says, how about Spider-Man Homecoming turning into a porn movie called Homo Coming? Yeah, why not, dude? Why not? You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that's already online.
Did you already bring up Daniel Vance's Tobey Maguire comment? I want to talk about that. Actually.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Tobey Maguire is rumored to be Spider-Man in those movies as the leader of the party for Warworld.
I've heard that rumor too, and I hope to God.
The worst nightmare.
I love Toby, but come on, man. His Spider-Man time was 20 years ago.
His Spider-Man time sucked even 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I would want Andrew Garfield. If you're not going to do Tom Holland, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with Tom Holland I'm okay with them going with a different Spider-Man.
Yeah, because
I want it to be Andrew Garfield. I think Andrew Garfield was a better Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire. And honestly, Tom Holland is in some aspects.
I think Andrew Garfield got fucked. I honestly really do.
100%. The fandom in Sony just and I'm sorry, like as I said, were the Amazing Spider-Man movies garbage? Yes, but was that to Andrew Garfield's fault? No.
I personally want Tom Holland back, but I just don't want him to be playing a fucking kid anymore. The guy's now in his mid. I think he might be about 26 now. Okay, you've done playing a fucking teenager, mate. You're a man.
He needs to be college age Peter Parker now.
Yep.
No, but I'm okay with them changing it up. Like I do like the idea of peppering in like old Fox, versions of characters, and like current MCU characters. You know what I mean? Like having Thor in there, like current Thor, and like Doctor Strange and all that, and then them meeting up with like Ben Affleck's Daredevil, and I don't want to say Ang Lee's Hulk, but that would kind of be funny.
But what you're
like, why is he so bright green?
But what you're saying is you want to intertwine, which would make sense. Yeah.
Have Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider. That would be hilarious.
That would be so dope. Yeah. And so meta. It would be the most meta thing in the MCU. Like, here he is, Ghost Rider. Ha ha ha.
But I want to see that.
Just going back to Loki, they had to try and extract information out of Brad at one point, and the good cop bad cop routine wasn't necessarily working. Morbius reminds him, "Listen, mate, you're the god of fucking mischief. Do some goddamn mischief."
Yep.
And so he does, and I like the way they got this machine that runs on gas or whatever. You have to pull its cord like a lawnmower, and it creates some sort of block that you could be put inside. And the details of the block was cool as well, but they even it wasn't like perfectly angled and stuff. It had like little dents in it and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on with my birds. I do apologize.
They're spazzing like crazy.
Yeah, they are.
They see your hands move and they're like, "You got food, Dad? You got food? You got food, Dad?"
Yeah, but yeah. So I like that. I like the way they extract the information out of him. Personally, I'm thinking to myself, "Come on, Loki, you're like a thousand times the strength of this guy. You know, you're a Nordic god. You know, you got more strength than all of these motherfuckers combined. Just beat the shit out of him and extract the information." But no, he went this route. But fair enough.
Yeah, he went the torture route and he still got what he wanted.
Yeah.
And then I like that after the
Yeah,
fact, like he opens the door and he's like, "Hey, yo, nice work. It was a good fucking plan." And I was like, "Ah, that was nice. I like that."
But here's the thing, though.
I already knew that.
Yep.
Yeah, we all already knew it. So I mean, you know, I feel like I think the thing that scared him the most is that he knows that Loki would have killed him. I think Loki would have. If he would have given him the information, I think Loki would have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
It was very good though that moment where like Loki like kind of transitioning to this heroic character all of a sudden. I mean, he gave up his. I mean, the original version of him gave up his life to his, you know, for his brother by getting killed by Thanos. Obviously, that's not the same Loki because this Loki was an arsehole when he became a variant
right after Avengers
over New York.
And they referenced that too. They referenced the time that he went to New York and fucked up shit and tried to mind control Tony Stark, and he was like, "I'm not having." I
think it's this the self-reflection he had. Obviously, seeing his variants in season 1, maybe we've had this change, but it was very good that Brad was telling him, "Listen, mate, you're not a fucking hero. You're a fucking villain." And I think that was not only good for him; it was good for us because we've got to remind ourselves of who Loki is. He's done in during the course of Avengers, he's done some despicable things, and him being an arsehole is almost like a drug to him because he can't help himself. You know. He can't help but fuck over people he loves. You know, it's just it's ingrained in him.
It's his DNA.
And so, yeah, it's in his DNA. So I'm very happy for that scene, just to remind us who Loki is, because he can turn on a dime at any moment. But we do get to the latter half of this episode when they finally end up in England. I mean, sorry, in Oklahoma. Where Sylvie's working in a McDonald's and she's really content. And she seems to be a really good employee. She's got 5 fucking stars on her badge, you know? And like most people in this world who have started a new life and tried to disappear away from their old life, when they see their old life come back at them, they have that look on their face. And she had it.
The way she sold it was perfect. Loki. Yeah, the way she sold it was perfect. And the way that Loki looked at her, like he was like, I almost don't know what to say, because it was as if like they hadn't seen each other in like 10 years.
Which it's really only been like 2 episodes, but who knows how long? Did they say how long she had been there? I don't remember the original date she got there versus
how much time has passed.
For her, it could be years.
Well, I know, but it did show the date.
All months.
Yeah, it showed 1982.
1982. When did they get there? Was it still 82?
Yeah, when they got there, it was still 82. So no telling how much time actually passed.
Maybe a few months, but enough to be significant for Sylvia.
But Loki, no time, not much time has passed at all. If you think about it,
they even said that when like they were chilling there, like Morbius and X5 were having the apple pie. He was like, "Dude, just 10 minutes ago I was torturing you, and now here I am having a meal. We're having shakes."
Yeah, Morbius. He seems to be the foodie of the lot, doesn't he? Like, key lime pie, apple pie. He ain't fucking missing out, is he? You know, so I'm in the fucking McDonald's. Man. I'm gonna fuck it. I like McDonald's apple pie. It's got a nice bit of spicy cinnamon to it. It's nice. So yeah. So he basically tells them, "Look, we need you back because why do they need Sylvia back?" Actually, someone explained that to me. Maybe I've forgotten.
It was because I think that like they needed her.
Well, no, they needed to find out what happened at the end of time, because remember, they don't know what happened after Sylvie kicked Loki. So they didn't know if anything else happened. Like I think she killed the He Who Remains before Loki was kicked out, right? Or did she do that afterward?
She killed him. She took Loki out and then killed him.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, I'm assuming Loki figured she killed He Who Remains, but like, you know, they don't know what happened. They don't even know what happened after He Who Remains died. So maybe that it just is kind of like they're kind of grasping at straws. So finding Sylvie kind of helped figure out, like maybe could figure out what's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they obviously then go back to the TVA. What's her face from Game of Thrones, the Scottish lady who seems to be in charge now. She's now dealing with the timeline variants and branches by destroying them. Basically, doing genocide in a bizarre way, because she's stopping people from existing in the first place. And it was a bizarre scene, because you're actually being told that, look, there's lots of people who are being killed, but they're not being killed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're just being brought out of existence. I don't even know how to explain that, you know, or describe that as death or not, by not existing in the first place, even though people know that you did exist. Or as you said, they might be sent to, they might be pruned, but
well, they
but
were
the way they were
pruning
going
those
on,
branches, so
but the way
based
they
on
were
what we
going
saw
on,
in
like they were
season
being
one.
killed. Yeah, but they were going on like they were being killed or something. You know, like it felt very tragic, in that particular sense. But
I don't know.
yeah, Ouroboros as well. He had a moment where he thought the whole universe was going to end. I'm not sure if you guys picked up on that too.
Yeah, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Like he saw it coming.
Yeah, he apparently created a TVA with Kang. So yeah, it's very it's all over the fucking place right now. But I think next episode we need to see some Kang.
I agree 100%.
We do.
You know, we know through some of the trailers that we do see Kang, and what concerns me the most is that might be the only Kang we get throughout this whole series. That he doesn't become a dominant, which it could be. It can be a good thing. He's not the dominating factor, but he does seem to play a significant role in Loki from what we saw at the end of season one, and obviously him being a statue there, and obviously where Kang's going now in season two, as well as within the MCU proper.
I honestly thought this season was going to go a totally different direction. Like, not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too. So, anyways, a lovely episode of Loki. Funny, witty stuff, I would say, with some great acting performances. Time to market, boys. What are you going to give it, Jose, out of 10?
I'm going to go ahead and give it about an 8. I thought it was a really good episode. You know, I'm looking forward to hopefully Kang next week. You know, Victor Timely or whatever the hell his name is going to be finally shows up, or we get a variant of Kang. Something. You need to get it going, because Kang Dynasty is not that far away. So I thought it was good.
Just get a couple before I go to you, Chi. Let's get some comments in.
That's fine.
Tom
I'm
Holland
still putting the poll up.
Wanting to move one from Spider-Man. Holland has caught him in the alcoholism web. Well, Tom Holland is an alcoholic all of a sudden.
I mean, I've heard that rumor.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, look, to be honest with Tom Holland, his career outside of the MCU is not that great. You know, it really isn't. He hasn't done anything of significance outside the MCU. He's making shit film upon shit film, and the fact that he's Spider-Man is the only thing keeping his head afloat. I think that's with a lot of actors, to tell you the truth, within the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really doing good stuff outside it. And I know they've tried all time. I think Chris Hemsworth is probably maybe him, maybe Chris Evans.
I think Chris Evans is probably the most.
Maybe Chris Pratt. Yeah,
he's got Jurassic Park. But I think that probably the Chris's. Let's put it that way. I think that if your name is Chris, you're going to
be all right.
You're going to be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, all of these guys, they're set for life. I mean, Paul Rudd, he was in the series "There's Only Murders in the Building." He's in season 3 of that, you know. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they have to try and break away from from what they're more renowned for. I mean, someone like Chris Hemsworth, he's built like a brick shit house. So even when he's not pumping himself to be Thor, he's still a very muscular,
Big guy,
built man. Yeah,
but
so
honestly, I
he's
mean,
always
you
going to
look at
be
John
involved in
Cena
roles like that.
You look at John Cena, Batista, they've had some great roles. Even The Rock, they've had some great roles, like, or at least popular roles, you know, and they're also big dudes. So I mean, it's possible for him to get some good stuff outside of the MCU. It's just, I mean, you're going to be typecast, like you really are.
Yep.
And I mean, do I necessarily think that's a bad thing? No, because you know what? Money's money when you have a contract. Like, look at Chris Evans. He's been in the most different versions of comic books. Like, he was in Losers, he was in Fantastic Four, he was in Scott Pilgrim. I mean, like, he's embracing like the fact that he's like, I do comic book movies. He's like,
hey, and you're making bank.
He's making bank.
Honestly, I wouldn't complain. I'd be like, all right, if I'm comic book guy, I'm the comic book guy.
See, Robert Downey Jr. would have been the person I would have gone to, but he was making good films whilst he was making the MCU movies as well. He was doing it intertwined. But once he gave up the MCU, I thought the Sherlock Holmes films were pretty good. I thought Tropic Thunder was good as well. But once he gave up being Iron Man and he wanted to do other movies and he's doing stuff like Dr. Dolittle, like what the fuck, mate? You know what I mean? You make absolute shit. I heard he's good in Oppenheimer, but he's not the main role in that. He's playing supporting cast. So and there's quite a lot of cameos in that film from what I've heard. So anyway, more from Daniel Vance. I really want to find out Morbius is a variant of Phil Coulson. That'll be interesting if that was the case. But at the end of the day, it would be a variant of Phil Coulson and nothing to do with the Phil Coulson he dealt with. I need to hear Obi say "booby trap" at least once. It'll make me, no. What he needs to say is "Okie dokie, Dr. Jones, hold on to your potatoes." That's what he needs to fucking say. It'll make me smile so much. Booby trap. That's what I said. Booby trap. Okay. Check the crowded room and The Impossible. Tom Holland's best work. Okay.
I have not seen it, so
if you don't cry during Impossible, you're not human. All right.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So
I'm literally not human.
Mark? What's your mark, Cheetah?
I'm gonna give it a 7. I mean, as I said, a good follow-up episode, but definitely a little bit more all over the place. I mean, I'm enjoying the season as a whole, though. So I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
Not as good as last week's episode, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to tell myself, like, just because one episode ends up being necessarily better than the other doesn't necessarily mean that the episode in itself is bad. It's just the connective tissue, and if the overall show ends up being good, then that's really all that matters, regardless of one episode being more entertaining than the other. That being said, I'm going to give this episode a 7.5. I'm going to embrace my halves now.
No.
7.5 out of 10.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Next thing you know, he's going to start doing
my halves.
Next thing you know, he's going to start doing 7.8, 3.5, and that's how that's going to be.
No, I know. Don't be a wuss. Just pick a number. No halves.
Okay,
it's either better or worse.
I'll go because 0.5 is usually mathematically, if you round it off, it means you go towards the higher number, which would be 8. So 8. Yeah. So yeah.
You technically gave it an 8. Yeah. So, but next week, I think what they need to do, they need to pick it up. It's like, all right, we're at the halfway point. We're
already at the halfway point.
Yep. So next week they need to pick it up. It's got to start being more action paced. We need to start seeing implications. Like, we all know we're going to die, but we got to start seeing shit happen in next week's episode.
You guys talked about Daredevil yesterday, did you?
Little bit. The fact that they're rebooting it. Yeah.
Restarting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that too, because apparently Feige was not happy. During the actor strike, he got a chance to see what they've already created.
Yeah, and he hated
it. He was not happy.
Well,
Yeah.
good. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's a good sign. That means that look, he's starting to put the thumb down on some of these people and saying this is not good enough, because we know that Feige knows good Marvel and good
Mhm.
Marvel shows and good Marvel movies. So it's good that like I know it sucks because it might push Daredevil back, but it's like, no, I'd rather have something good.
Oh, it will. It will. It will.
If I'm gonna watch 18, if we're gonna watch and review 18 episodes, they better be out of this world. Like that's the
How many?
expectation.
18 episodes.
That's what
18
they
episodes.
originally said. I don't know. That might change with
They might scale it back to maybe they might do a thing
12.
where it's like, yeah, they might cut it down to 12. Yeah.
12 is ideal to tell you the truth. I think 18 means that you're gonna get filler episodes like a motherfucker.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think
filler
12.
episodes are not bad as long as they're done well.
Yeah.
No, but you're gonna hear the complaints about it regardless. You know, people want more episodes. They get more episodes, but some of it has to be filler because it's very hard to stretch out a story sometimes. So yeah. But we'll see how it pans out. I mean, we probably won't see anything or hear anything about Daredevil until maybe late 2024, early 2025.
Yeah, not till next year. Not till next year at the minimum. It's going to take us a while to get there.
Yeah, Daniel Vance says
Yeah.
Daredevil is rumored to open with Foggy Nelson's funeral, which is why he's not part of the production, which I think is stupid. Like, why take Karen Page and Foggy Nelson out of it? Like, they were the two endearing parts
This is
Daredevil.
This is Disney doing their Disney shit by getting rid of what's already there and trying to implement their own stuff. And then people don't like what they implement and say, you know what, bring us back what we already fucking like. And so they end up having to fucking do a role reverse, a retcon or whatever to bring back, they'll probably, throw fucking Foggy. I know it's DC, but, as a joke, they'll throw Foggy in the fucking Lazarus pit or something, bring him back, and make everyone happy again. I mean, this is honestly, they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. Don't, especially at the beginning of a show, don't kill off an established character who hasn't even had a chance to be established. Like kill him off. I have no problem with Foggy Nelson dying. Just don't kill him off. Until you've established him a bit.
Yeah, like he did.
Yeah, off screen. Like when somebody like him dies, it's got to hit us as fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, exactly. Like when Aunt May died. And they've been doing that now. Aunt May is dying now. They did that in the Spider-Man game.
They've been earning deaths, and that's what Marvel needs to continue doing, is earning the death.
Exactly.
To save money.
DC Comics.
I would rather them say, "Oh, Foggy moved to Wisconsin." I have to just I would rather them, if they're going to write him off like that, don't.
And they could bring him back at least. I mean, and use a character like that. Yep. Yeah, and stuff. Yeah, exactly. So all right then, fellas. Well, hopefully we'll try and get you guys a review of Gen V before the weekend's out. You been watching that, Jose?
I don't even know what that is.
Have you not watched The Boys?
No, I still have not watched The Boys.
You're not missing.
He's frozen.
A heck of a lot, but
I know I'm frozen. I'm always
The
frozen.
Boys. You ever watched the? Oh man, look. Watch the fucking Boys, dude. Watch the fucking Boys. Watch all 3 seasons of The Boys.
All right, talk about it afterwards.
Gen V, which is like
let's wrap this up.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
All right. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Take care. Peace.